All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to my IRL, as they say on Twitch, special Christmas Day stream for 2017. I'd like to welcome everyone, first of all, who is watching this live on Twitch. Thank you for taking time away from your busy days. I know many of you are celebrating Christmas Day with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And to see you guys come out and celebrate Christmas with me is a really amazing thing. I want to say thank you very much for taking time out of your day to be here live on the stream with me and my ridiculous Christmas sweater that my girlfriend picked out for me. I'm excited. I hope that you're excited too. It's going to be a really fun stream today. So, what are we doing? First of all, it's Christmas Day 2017. Holy crap. Boy, did this year fly by, right? And seriously, for me, this year passing by so quickly because so much happened. Some negative, some positive. There was just so many things that changed this year for me in my life that literally time flew like crazy. And I don't know about you guys, but man, what a tumultuous year. And, how different the future is going to be for a lot of reasons, okay? First of all, I want to apologize. I have a cough drop in my mouth because yesterday I did my big WWE annual fantasy holiday sims. And I went crazy on the commentary. I was screaming and everything. And my voice is now very hoarse because I went nuts yesterday on the commentary. It's not necessarily that there was blame to be had. It wasn't like we were mad at each other for the things that happened. It was just kind of like a what the fuck do you do? How are we going to have a normal life when we have these crazy things that happen in our lives? And every day we wake up, we might have another life-altering, stressful event that could fuck with us completely. Whether it's YouTube, something going on with YouTube and now I can't pay my bills, or whether it's getting DDoS attacked so I can't stream today, whether the cops are showing up, whether we're getting trolled in another way. You know what I mean? When every day is something incredibly nasty and stressful, it screws with you mentally, physically, emotionally. It does. Even though I might not relate that to you guys on a daily basis, it takes its toll. And literally over years, what happened is our relationship kind of just fell apart to the point where it wasn't like we were significant others anymore. Like I said, it was more like, yeah, we're here, we share a house, but we weren't getting along to a point where it was like an intimate relationship anymore. All right. So behind the scenes of all this stuff going on, there was always this other thing going on emotionally between me and my ex-girlfriend that was kind of falling apart. And it just made it work. It would be one thing if, oh God, I got false copyright strikes today, and this happened to that. But then if you have someone who you can go fall into their arms at the end of the day and just feel good and feel supported, and it's better. We didn't even have that. That fell apart, and it's like when everything's falling apart, something's going to give at some point. All right. So all that's going on behind the scenes of early 2017. All of a sudden in February of 2017, all right, my ad revenue on YouTube, no exaggeration, goes down by 50%. So already I thought, I was supposed to be making more at the end of 2016, and it didn't happen. And then all of a sudden in February, I make half as much money as usual. Now, it would have been one thing if I had diversified and I was making money on Twitch. I wasn't, okay? It was all YouTube revenue was paying my bills. Making half money in 1 month, what am I supposed to do? And I was in panic mode because I was like, this is it. I basically can pay my bills for 1 month. And if I don't make more money somehow in the next month, I can't even pay my bills anymore. And this is when I went to Machinima. All right. And I went to Machinima, who was my partner at the time. Remember, I've been partnered with Machinima on YouTube for the longest since 2011. And I said, what is going on? This is ridiculous. You guys didn't give me any warning. There was no warning. Did I do something wrong? Is this a glitch on YouTube? What is going on that all of a sudden I'm making 50% less than I used to? I can't keep my house to pay my bills if this continues, all right? So Machinima tries to look into it, and sadly, this is what I learned over the years, folks, and this is the sad truth. Machinima at one point was one of the big wigs on YouTube. They were a company that had a lot of clout. They had a lot of power and positioning on YouTube because they were one of the biggest partnership networks. If you wanted to be a successful gamer on YouTube, Machinima was one of those networks you wanted to be a part of. Over the years, Machinima declined and declined and declined. Every year, there was more negative press. There was newer controversy. They screwed something up legally, okay? Every year, it got worse and worse and worse. And finally, the bubble kind of burst in 2016 when behind the scenes Machinima laid off tons of their staff and didn't tell anyone. I had a person who was the head of the partnership program at Twitch, at Machinima, who I'd been working with personally in 2015 and a little bit in 2016 to work on copyright issues, copyright strikes, things like that. They laid the guy off and didn't even tell me. So I had no contact at Machinima. I didn't even know this. They didn't even bother to tell me. Okay. So they laid off like half of the people who dealt with their partners. It was terrible, but they didn't tell anyone because they didn't want negative press. Okay. So here it is, February 2017. All of a sudden, my ad revenue on YouTube halves. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my bills anymore. I contact Machinima, and Machinima is literally, I'm not even exaggerating, literally treating me like dirt. Like, whatever, we'll look into it, but stop bothering us. That's kind of the response I got from them. That was kind of like, we understand this is important to you, but just stop bothering us. We'll get back to you when we feel like it. And I'm like, what? This is my livelihood. I could lose my house. I could lose everything. I could go into financial ruin because all of a sudden my YouTube revenue just dropped by 50%. And Machinima was kind of like, meh, who cares? And like, that's not the attitude to have when you have people who, especially me, I've worked with them for over 6 years, right? Being a dedicated partner for them, sticking up for them when people told me year after year after year to leave them because they weren't reliable and because of the things happening behind the scenes that they were doing that were underhanded and bad. And I ignored all that. All right. And said, no, I'm going to be loyal to them and I'm going to stick with them. And I stuck up for them for 6 years. And then all of a sudden I get to get treated like dirt. Oh, well, so what if your revenue halved? We'll figure it out when we figure it out. All right. And after 2 weeks of waiting for answers and getting literally no answers whatsoever, I told him, I said, if this is how you're going to behave, I don't know if I want to be, with you guys anymore, because I have to be with a partner network that at least is going to try to get me answers and not just be like, meh. In reality, what I really think happened here is Machinima had no clout anymore. They had no ability to go to YouTube and get any answers because YouTube just told them whatever, we don't care. And they had no clout. So their hands were tied. But being a network, really being mistreated. Let me give you a specific example of what happened. I emailed the former head of the partner program, who I had directly worked with about a dozen times in 2015 and a little bit in early 2016 on issues just like this, whether it was copyright issues, revenue issues, whatever. I got a form letter email back saying this person is no longer with the company. Write this other person instead. So I did. And the next day, I literally got an insulting email from Machinima saying, you're already in contact with us on this issue. Don't go around us and try to write other people in other departments. We're already taking care of this for you. How dare you? And I was like, who are you to speak to me like that? You're basically disrespecting me because I might lose everything financially. You're not giving me answers. And then when I go to someone who's helped me in the past, you basically treat me like a small child and tell me not to try to seek out help. And that's what I told him. I said, I don't want to work with you anymore. Like, seriously, if this is how I'm going to be treated, I don't want to work with you anymore. And so at that point, I guess Machinima decided, gee, forget it. Since this guy looks like he's going to give us bad press anyway, let's get rid of him. And they canceled all my contracts. They basically said, at this point, we're just going to end all the contracts with you. And I was like, all right, fine. That's kind of what I want anyway, since you guys aren't helping me at all. All right. Now, the bottom line is, I had another partnership network lined up. Okay. All right, now hold on. This is perfect because Nick actually tipped me $1 and he said the following. He says, Phil, in my opinion, leaving Machinima was a bad choice. You were getting a managed partnership and the falling out was over something stupid. No, it wasn't. The falling out was not over something stupid. Being disrespected by a company that's supposed to be the company that sticks up for you. A partnership company is basically supposed to be like your agent. They're supposed to stick up for you. They're supposed to seek out opportunities for you. They're supposed to get you the best ad revenue. And being disrespected by my company, basically being talked to like a child and being told, we don't care about your concerns. Don't go to anyone else. We're handling it. Enough is enough. I knew going forward was going to be a toxic relationship with them. And that's why I knew I had to get out of there. All right. Now, here's the thing. I had another company who I'd been talking with behind the scenes for 2 years. All right. 2 years. And this company wanted to get me on board with a managed partnership. The only thing was they were going to pay me slightly. By the way, I apologize for my throat. As I told you guys, yesterday I did the WWE stream. I went a little bit overboard, so my throat's a little messed up. It's going to sound messed up today. I'll probably get another lozenge in a moment, and I'm going to make myself a hot tea. So, anyway, I had another company lined up for 2 years, they wanted to recruit me, all right? And they had a managed partnership lined up for me, which means I would not have to worry about content ID. I'd be able to monetize my Nintendo videos. The only thing was they were going to pay me less than what Machinima was paying me ad revenue cut-wise. So I knew if I ever had a falling out with Machinima, okay, that I would be able to fall back on this, all right? So the day that this all happened with Machinima, I sent a private message to the person who was my contact at this company on Twitter, but I also knew this guy didn't read his PMs a lot, so I just sent him a general message. I tweeted him. I said, hey, man, please hit me back. I got something I'd like to talk about. The trolls, those dumb fucks who had swatted me, DDoS attacked me. I remember during that time period, all right, I was doing Twitch and Chill stream. Remember the Twitch and Chill events that I had been doing? So I was doing Twitch and Chill stuff. And while I was doing the Twitch and Chill stuff, people were being trolls. They were coming in and saying, haha, Leanna, and this and that. And I was already broken up with her for a while. So for me, honestly, it wasn't even stinging at all, because it was like, you're insulting my ex who I haven't talked, I don't have that relationship with anymore. But people didn't know that. So people were coming in purposely trying to be nasty to me, and it had no effect on me because already the relationship had kind of been over for a while. All right. So yeah, it all kind of fell apart in that regard. And it sucked, it did, because it was funny. It was like when things were going bad with everything else, the relationship falls apart, and then things started to go good with business. Like I told you guys, the streams were picking up. People were being positive again. There was growth on Twitch. And here I am trying to show a happy face every day. I'm having so much fun, streaming on Twitch. And then in real life behind the scenes, everything was going wrong or had gone wrong. And it put a lot more stress on me, because previously the way that my life was I wake up, I spend some time with my ex-girlfriend, right? Whatever, setting up in the morning. I work, but then when my work's done, now we have a shared meal. So she's cooking or whatever. A lot of the responsibilities of the house were shared. I had more income because of her income was contributing to the house budget and everything. And then when we broke up, less money, no one cooking for me anymore. It was basically a giant, no moral support. That was the other thing. If anything went wrong, I was on my own. I, didn't have anyone, again, which it's one thing when things go wrong, but you have someone to go to at night to have moral support and have someone physically be there for you to encourage you. And that completely went away from me. And it was devastating, but I couldn't tell anyone, because if I did, I knew the negativity that would explode on the internet, when all this was happening. So, all that happens, and remember, during the months of April, May, June, my streams are going good. People are coming out for my streams and really enjoying the streams and everything, right? And, it's amazingly positive, but behind the scenes, my life is a mess. I'm alone. I'll be honest, guys, I started drinking, which you shouldn't do, especially when you're depressed, but I did. I started drinking way more than a person should. At night, I was getting drunk every night. I was having some issues getting to stream some days because I was feeling so depressed over losing the relationship behind the scenes and everything, and not being able to share that with you guys, right? Was another major thing. Really, the only people who knew about it were my parents. And what are they going to do? They live on the other side of the country. It's not like they could be there for any kind of support besides just telling me, we're sorry that what happened or whatever, and we're going to stick up. Basically, just keep plugging forward and life will get better for you, as much as a parent could. So all that happening, right? And if you guys remember, it basically what ended up happening was Leanna was doing very little stuff on the internet, or what she did was kind of stuff to mask the fact that we had broken up. And all of a sudden she started posting pictures from like her new place, a cat that lived with her and stuff like that. And people were like, Phil doesn't have a cat. What is this a picture? You know what I mean? Now keep in mind, this was months after. Oh, by the way, the one thing that I forgot to mention, all right? The one thing I forgot to mention was when my ex-girlfriend had a situation at work where she had a panic attack and I had to leave a stream and rush to the hospital, all right? That had happened. We had already broken up, and she was already in the process of moving out of the house and everything when that happened, All right. And so for me, I was kind of like in a messed up mindset where, you know, oh no, I had to leave in the middle of a stream and people wanted to know what the hell it was. It was a family emergency. And I told people what happened. And some people took that the wrong way. Oh my God, Phil's telling people about his girlfriend's private business and all of that. All right. At that point, there was already so much fucked up stuff. I'm not going to get into it because there's some real fucked up stuff that happened between me and her before that day that had really gotten to me. All right. And basically there was some very hurtful things that had happened to me and I wasn't in the right mindset. And no, you know, in retrospect, should I have come back that day and immediately told everyone, oh, the reason that I had to leave my stream earlier today was because, you know, my girlfriend had a panic attack and had to be rushed to the hospital, and then I had to go there to help her or whatever. No, probably I shouldn't have done that, you know. At the same time, you guys didn't know she wasn't my girlfriend anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know that. So you thought, oh, how am I mistreating my girlfriend? In reality, she wasn't. This was actually someone who I was not really on good terms with, okay? And she was in the process of moving out and everything at that point. So really hurtful stuff had happened between us recently that I was not in a good mindset in regards to her. Quite frankly, I didn't have to go to the hospital all that day. I didn't. Because she was already had friends and stuff that could have helped her. But apparently she had told the people at work that she wanted me to go to the hospital to get her. I don't know the full story. The bottom line is, I went to the hospital and basically she was like, yeah, you're here, whatever. And, okay, take me home. And that was it. And then she was gone. Within another couple of days, she had completely moved out. So it's funny because, you know, people are so mad at me. And, oh, did you hear what Phil did to his girlfriend? She had a panic attack and he told the world about it. That's mental illness and you shouldn't have exposed. In reality, that wasn't the case. In reality, I was in the wrong mindset because of the breakup had already happened. And she was already on the way out the door. But in reality, no, I probably shouldn't have said that publicly to everyone on the internet. Although, the same day, she posted up pictures on the internet about, yeah, I was in the hospital and I'm okay and everything. So, already she had told the world too. So, it wasn't like she was angry at me for doing it or anything like that. Let's put it that way. Fucking shit.
Get that ass banned, you worthless specimen. Get that ass banned.